So everybody, it's Amon here. Welcome back to another one of Amon's thoughts with the boy Kratos, the god of war, the reckoner of the Greek gods, the brutacious beast, the Greek beast, the Greek formidable Goliath, a brawler, the boy, the ghost of Sparta. You probably 7-man sofa calling him that again now, old Kratos over in nostalgia. Hope you guys are excited for God of Ragnarok. I am to see if my case of opinion on Kratos has changed in the place of how his character depth is put together. But actually, obviously, by the title of this video, what Amons thoughts, it's been a minute since I did one of these. I think for maybe possibly 2 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, like I said with the title of this video, is if I think Kratos is a anti-hero or anti-villain. This is why he's not an anti-villain or anti-hero. I hope you guys will enjoy. This is obviously my opinion, because in case of it being what Amon's thoughts, and at the same time like Amon's reviews. Obviously, I'm not trying to come at anybody, but I've seen multiple people make an argument that Kratos is an anti-hero or anti-villain, and they seem in the place of being an anti-hero because I'm doing some heroics, but don't even pin him on the fact that this nigga did a bunch of different callous and bad things. This is going at this pure fact of objective C and subjective C on his morality. This is not my point of him as a character. Obviously, you guys know I do not like Kratos as a character. I do not hate this man, Johnny Sins, but at the same time, I'm not trying to paint him as the bad in the entire way. I'm just saying blatantly, you cannot put him as that because of all the things that he did. I hope you guys will enjoy. I'm going to see you guys with it. Enjoy, I love y'all.
I ain't slept in a while, man. It's like my dreams run, been spending all night trying to chase them down. Don't worry about it, man. I'ma make my mama proud. I came up from not having nothing, I'm just trying to buy my mama a house. Yeah. Don't worry about it, man. Told you I'ma hold it down, man. I just wanna see you smile back when every day we are stressed out. Don't worry about it, man. Long nights tapped out. Everybody waiting on me to win, I just gotta make it count. Yeah. Don't worry about it, man. Took a win, took a loss. That just made me a boss. Times I feel like I'm a fraud. Don't worry about it, man. Bounce back into time. If I don't do nothing, I'ma grind.
Now, back obviously on the point for why I think Kratos is not an anti-hero, which I also want to say the case in time for when I go and upload this video. I feel I'm better, got some food in my stomach, I'm feeling more blast, feeling more cool, say I feel my being. I got a sore sprain in the back of my head, like I'm bopped in the back of the head or nothing. But it's just that case for how my do-rag was over my do-rag, because most of y'all pretty sure, obviously, from me having a do-rag, that's some case style I put in my waves. Getting a little more crazy, solid, you know, looking solidly handsome. Not to go on a tirade or nothing, it's just that I just want to let y'all know in case some of y'all care. Obviously, people want to actually get into place in my opinion that are new here. I'm obviously going to get to I just want to mention that for a second, calm down. But at the same time, like I was saying, and the reason why Kratos is not an anti-hero to me is plainly because of the fact that what he does is nothing heroic. He has done technical heroics in the case involving what he did, and he has saved some people within God of War 4 and even before in the game. He has done humane things, has done out of humane things. Inhumane things that he has done ranges all the way in infinity. This man has done very callous things. He's obviously not perfect, and you're not intended for him to be, but more a raging machine. But at the same time, placed for how he was as a person, he was not doing good things. He was doing very excessive things that were not good. And how you would point him to be like that as a good person is very weird to me within that point. Now, again, subjectively, if you think that Kratos is a good person, that's fine. But at the same time, I would disagree because by everything he did. Do I think Kratos is a full, overarchingly bad person? No. But if someone says he's objectively evil, that's the case. So somebody would ask me, is Kratos objectively evil? I'm going to say yes, plainly on a factor that you could point everything he's done as evil, even if somehow he would purposely go and change, because you cannot change the past. And me personally, I'm a person who believes anybody can be rehabilitated. Anybody can change, anybody can form a way to do good, and that the idea that nobody can change, nobody deserves a trial, and no one deserves a second chance is kind of bullshit. And this goes in the case for real life or even in fiction. If you want to place someone like Kratos as an anti-hero, you have to really make a big point to me. An anti-villain, I can see a certain for why, but the reason why I don't say he's an anti-villain or anti-hero is because when he was doing it back in the other game, we're going to start from top to bottom. In the earlier games, obviously in the matter for Greek Kratos, that's old Kratos from new Kratos now, because sometimes people mix place and might get what people mean generally with old Kratos. You mean God of War 4 Kratos, aka Norse Kratos with his Norse bare-hided look, the Viking look, you know what I'm saying? In the old games, his strive is out for vengeance. By how he was as a person, he was lustful for power, war, and breeding for conflict. He was literally paving the way for conquerorship, and to the point where Sparta's entire war army and militia was known into other worlds. Their fury would rain up in the gods' ears and through their mouths and all that shit. He wouldn't have a plantation of death. He was lustful and praying for power. He's pursuing things for his own lustful power. At the same time, yes, Spartans want to be known as fearful people, but he wasn't even doing it just from Spartan understanding. He was doing it out of lust. He was doing it just because he could and deprive off of that shit. At the same time, I understand there's different faculty in the comment for why he's doing it. But at the same time, you could arguably place that as he's already a person that's refined. Does that make him objectively bad? No, because he's a warrior fighting for the common fact that they are Spartans and they rage power and how they all overbox a lot of things. But that does not take away a pure fact that just because you're a Spartan doesn't mean you have to act inhumane. Old Kratos, where he talks about at the end of God of War, when he's talking to Atreus over in Jotunheim, about how a Spartan soldier he know showed that it's because they were killing machines, they could be human. Yes, I am paying attention to God of War, even if I don't like Kratos as a character, because I like thinking about the characters and thinking about all cases before I decide something. That's just with life. Do I do it every time? No, because I'm not perfect, but that's not the point. Point is, in place of matter for how I'm doing something is a whole different casualty, a whole different form and everything, and how cases of things are happening. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what is popping off with the character to come into play sometimes. But with this character, Kratos, he's literally just doing it of his own means for lust. Again, since he's a warrior, it's whatever, but my point still stands. You could arguably equate that of being bad because he's already in that form. Then, when he's about to die and get murked, caught lacking, when all his rage starts getting put out of play and karma comes into case for his entire war form of going for blood and no case of compassion, and doing that comes into play. Which arguably the compassion names are be kind of, I'm just saying like in an expressional form, because again, his entire bloodbath was stopped when somebody pulled in with a better heavier case of militia and came after him, which in this case would be the primal war barbarian king. And so when he's about to die, he calls for Ares, he gets blades of chaos, blah blah blah. So then he goes on another Rican war path. He already placed in the same matter for what he was doing when he was human. It was raging out with the blades of chaos, killing innocent people, assassinating people that Ares did not like, assassinating Athena's followers because of his beef with his sister, assassinating innocent people, wrecked the entire village, killed his own family, his wife and daughter on accident, yes, but still, that still is in play with him doing that, which again, I'm not trying to pin it on him. Ares is a fucking narc. So, from there, yes, he's anti-villain because he did do something mistaken with that point. So yes, that's where I'm going. This is an analyzation on Kratos' character, so I'm taking the both credit. So hear me out. I just want y'all to hear me out the entire video, and you'll see my point plausibly. So again, Kratos does this have his own militia to say the matter for how he feels. So then he goes on, obviously, his God of War rampage and Ursula character depth plays into the factor of what he's doing in the God of War games. From God of War 1, going on all cases, from God of War 1, God of War 2, going in God of War, Ghost of Sparta, whatever place and matter for things involving his character. But multiple times in between this, he kills innocents, has no compassion, no sympathy for people who are killed or gets in his way. There's arguable credit to be said that they're going to die anyway, and him doing it to get where he needs to be and get to bigger, further places is what matters to him, and that he is not a good person overall and not a reasonable and kind person like how Thor possibly would place him just from hearing his voice. But at the same time, that is still objectively bad. It doesn't matter. That's not necessarily the point. He's not supposed to be a hero, and whoever says that is right. No one's trying to call him a hero. I don't want nobody to put anti-hero in Kratos' name. I feel like that's fucking slander and disrespect to all the kids of people that he killed. And I get he's a fictional character. I'm not trying to make this a whole place of morality check, but I am questioning his morality because this is point proven and potent that he does not proceed to be a hero. He does not accompany any place of being a hero. He is not a hero. There's no point where Kratos' character is interpolated into no hero point or statement. He does not care about some people. The only times he cares about people sometimes is they hold weight to him. His daughter Calliope, Pandora, because she reminds him of Calliope and she's a little girl. And he feels bad for her. Says, okay, that's sincere, but that's honorable. He saved the universe because of his daughter and other people. And he had more compassion. He had more malevolence and care for his brother, who was in prison. And he didn't fight his brother because he understood his rage and didn't want to put away his brother from ever capability of loving him, because he loved his brother Demo so much, which is proven with the case of the tattoo he has on the right side of his body. Or hold on, no, because he has his shield on the left side of his body. Yeah, so it's on the left. Sometimes I hear right now looking at it in this form again. I kind of feel stupid. But you got what I mean. He has on the left side of his body this big Spartan cross spear, entire tattoo, which is dope as fuck. I love that entire paved way design placed together with it. And at the same time, again, as well, he saves people, but these people only holding placement to him. Not every time will anti-hero, which is where I'm going to make my examples to bring a better point so you guys understand me, will they say people who hold dear to them, or sometimes they will do it to them. What I mean by this, in case that doesn't make sense, is the pure fact that just because you're anti-hero doesn't mean at each point you're going to be doing stuff that is holding main case of weight to you, where you stand as a person. But at the same time, just because you are called a hero / do heroic acts, because you do that does not take away a place of matter for what you have done in different cases. So yeah, saving them helps, but there's a lot more meaning to being an anti-hero in purpose. Kratos does not deliver any of that. He does not represent any of that, and he is not in a place to be called an anti-hero, like I said, with obviously my opinion, the entire point why I'm making this video, because this character is not a hero. He does heroic acts, okay. Are we not going to talk about how he kills gods and causes devastation, causes reckoning, causes the apocalypse? At the same time, these guys do deserve to die, and he does not kill anybody unless they come and attack him. But he is trash in that scenario as a person when he has no compassion or care, arguably. So again, objectively, those guys deserve to die and the humans get in the way. Okay, he calls tsunami, killing Poseidon's death. He calls hell on earth by killing Hades and taking his soul. He let the underworld be unleashed on the world. He caused the sun to be blackened out by killing Helios. He caused the plague to the earth. He released darkness on the gods. He caused a bunch of despair. He's also came some place of form of pleasing when it comes down to the case of what he's done. At the same time, he's not a cheesy person, but he plants the tree for being in a bad space for people, even though in the place of why he does it, these gods get in his way and arguably they deserve to die. So there's no need to have a correlation in the case of a passion, especially how these guys have changed to hold that plate and point for why he did it. But my biggest showcase for his callousness within God of War 3 in the case everything, because the most horrendous, evil, out of pocket, and callous moment of Kratos. Look up the scene. You play God of War 3, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Where this nigga kills an innocent sex rape slave, the Princess of Poseidon. That girl didn't do shit to Kratos, but he decided, oh look, there's somebody who can't be saved. I'm going to see if I can actually use her for something. You know, not save her and try to care or anything. Nah, I see somebody that's a little prey, and I'm going to be a predator bully, not like in a rapist way, because no, Kratos is not a fucking rapist. He be piping the hoes. He be laying down the Spartan pipe respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Aphrodite would have vote him to that place of pipe symmetry, you know what I'm saying? But on the real, Johnny Sins put her out of her cage, took her along, stripped her to this little fucking ladder anchor barricade, and then let her be crushed so he can go through the chambers without any need of having to speed blitz through. I don't give a damn if she could have did that to help him, because obviously she did, because again, she was stripped there, chained her up pretty much there, locked her in so she would die, because Kratos, obviously, as soon as you try opening the chamber cages and going through the doors in between the places with the speed of Hermes and all that, which I don't care if it's a video game. In this sense, Kratos should just have the speed to get through. They did this to, again, show Kratos has no morality, which I don't know why. I don't give a damn how much you hurt as a person. This is not vengeance. There's no point to this. This is objectively evil. This is the most callous thing I have seen the character, I think, ever in a long time. Because that's the most heinous stuff you could do. That's terrible. That is terrible as an entire definition. There is no excuse for doing that. That's terrible. Do you know how ridiculous that is? That's terrible. That girl didn't do nothing to Kratos, and he just decided, fuck it, I'ma do it. It's not about her being a girl, it's just a person. He did that. Like, look at this scene right here. Obviously, in my point, I'm showing scenes of him doing some kind of rogue. He's helping Freya, even though arguably it's not his business to do something to her child and fight Baldur, but he's not gonna let this punk ass bitch, MJK, Conor McGregor, come over here and pull some Jigmamel case of synergy. You know what I'm saying? Slash Gigamel, Jigga. Because I don't know why I even said that. But you guys get what I mean at the same time. And she's over here trying to bind him with these vines from the earth, pull fucking poison ivy, and trying to back off Wiz Khalifa, White Pelamasangi over here to back off and stuff. But he's not going to allow this motherfucking misogynist to come over and do this. Kratos believes in feminist equality, you know what I'm saying? Like, jokes aside, though, in this place, he's not gonna let this motherfucking Baldur come over here and do some fucking Gigamel misogynist, Jigga ass energy in this case, you know what I'm saying? So, even then with that, still, my point still stands. Giga, within the Ching for what he's doing, is bad in this sense. He's not letting that happen. He's not letting this son kill his own mother because he cares for Freya. Freya is a good friend, like a cool person to him, right? But it does not debunk the factor for what he did to her. That is terrible. It's not right. He didn't care. He didn't care that she was a sex slave. He didn't care about what she was going through. He didn't care about anything. He just walked by and heard her scream help and groan and get smeared and die. He did not care at all. It did not matter at all. It does not matter at all why he did it to him. No, it's just I need to get through. She holds a point. Doesn't matter. My mirror's head is just flaying. Goodness, going bonkers out here. Croakle this man whole head. Mirror's going for fucking vines and shit. I'm surprised this man is not budget each time he moves. I'm not trying to get off concentration to the point, but at the same time, in a place where he's at, I'm surprised he's not getting smear cruckled when that happens. But still, going on back to my point, even though, moving on, that's still, like I said, bad, but there's more that comes into play with this. Because again, Kratos will kill anybody that does not matter to him. He does a bunch of bad. Even before, again, him killing people with the Blades of Chaos / the Blades of Exile. He's killed multiple people between God of War 1, 2, and 3 to get what he needs to do. He does not care. He has no point of compassion, no understanding, no consideration, and just goes out his way to run it no matter the case. He keeps wanting to put some kind of morality check on it because he's mad. Like I said, there's reason to. There's objectivity to this in this point. But I don't give a damn how mad you are. Just because you're mad doesn't excuse the fact that you did something morally wrong. That's terrible. He should not just be able to come over here and just start doing that because he feels like it. That's terrible as hell. That's not right. And overall, that's terrible by any case of qualm. That's terrible at all for any sense. Like, again, the place of matter for why he did it with the princess was to get where he needed to go. It wasn't out of case of crime. It wasn't out of the faculty that he was trying to do something right. It wasn't in none of those factors. It literally was the pure fact that he's mad, so he feels like he can do it. And it's not matter for him doing this other shit in general. I don't give a damn how mad you are. You're doing shit that's objectively evil and it's not right. It's not cool for you to take your anger out on people just because you're mad. There's no anti-hero there. That's evilness. That's demonic. That's not good. He knows damn well he's doing wrong, but he don't care. He mad. I'm mad at the God, so let me plant all my anger on the compassion of what humans have done for me in the past by either prayer of me being a God or to say the matter of fact that humans have not done anything, and let me just pray on them. Because he's very mad, and he runs over and causes death to innocent people because he's mad. So let me take all the same amount from my anger for my father Zeus for scarring me and betraying me and screwing me over and put that on my own race, technically, for him being a demigod, turned God fully. And not even just on his case of his own race, but innocent people. and just go ahead and keep doing the same thing, hold no place of sympathy. He has no reason to be this evil. I don't give a damn if he's a Greek tragedy. Because there's no way you can tell me just because he's a Greek tragedy that equalizes him to kill innocent people. Like, I feel like some people are going to take me crying as this. I'm just saying straight up. He should not be able to do this. Oh, but his family died. He's mad. Okay, I don't give a fucking damn. I feel sorry for Kratos. I sincerely do. But that excuse can correlate to any person in real life and correlate to him as well. That's literally the entire debunk of the faculty for why people do what they do in this world. If you equate that to every single place and point for what people do in this world, there is no excuses. That's literally called anarchy and taking what somebody goes through and being the main purpose for destruction. And I hope that I said the last thing right, because again, I'm saying a bunch of different stuff, and I'm just trying to say blatantly that can co-excuse, because that's why I said I meant technically co-excuse, but co-correlate the case and matter of what people do away, because excuse obviously making up something, but accusing all that different stuff together in the same placement for other people in real life and other characters in fiction excuses all form of potency for why do what he did. You can feel bad for Kratos and feel bad that he's a Greek tragedy of that sanctitude, but that does not make what he did right in the slightest, yo. That just paints him more bad. Oh, I'm mad, so I'm gonna pave each person that has done wrong to me or is in my way or is a fucking cunt like Poseidon and displace all my wrongs to the innocent people. Or I'm gonna take my anger because I'm mad at Zeus and I'm gonna kill innocent people. I'm gonna take my anger out on other people just because of the fact that I'm angry. No place of compassion, no moral high ground. Not the fact that Kratos actually has anger reasons and can be reasonable. Nah, fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. This is even a bad writing thing, even though it is one of the reasons why I think Kratos is a bad character, because it's blatantly fucking retarded that he's put to this magnitude of being evil, this magnitude of being out of pocket, this magnitude of being destructively evil for non-reasonable reasons. He has so many reasons to be mad. He has so many reasons, you're talking about same for his character, to be neutral, but he's bad. Not neutral evil, because again, case of matter for his character, he is neutral to me, but he's definitely objectively evil, and it's not even a subjective thing. By logic and pain and point, because somebody said I cannot say this, I can. Because everything he does in these past games is fucking evil. And God of War 4, he's trying to make a stand to be better. That's fine. That does not excuse what you did. It is not. If you tell me because a rapist is mad, and again, I don't want to go full out of Spur's pocket with a case of mortality, but I'm just saying, his mortality aspects and the same matter that you can cuss to the same case of people in real life still stands, because his morality takes the same place in matter. He's murdering innocent people or not having any cuss for the same matter for his destruction that he places on people because he's mad. That's not right. That's the same thing with a rapist being mad to a girl, so he's just gonna rape her. That's the exact thing that happened with Skater Boy. You know where he's at? He's in prison, I'm pretty sure, for life. That's not how this works. I'm sorry, there's no anti-hero there. This is why he's objectively evil, and I want people to more understand that. If you think Kratos is a better person, if you think he can become better, okay, I agree with you because of God of War 4. I don't agree with you because of the past, because what he did is unacceptable and out of pocket. There's no way to rationalize that, in my opinion, because it's blatantly bad. I don't agree with that because it's wrong. It's not true. I think overall your point for saying that is dumb if you think about that. So there's all the reasons saying matter for him not being good. The place of matter for his morality, the mortal cases of matter for what's going on, and more a case of remorse for how he does things in this case, because there's no case of moral point, no quarrel for it, and the remorse to do it is not there. There's no remorse, nothing like that case for it. And all that, if that's even a form of case of matter for a word, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it is, but it's the fact that his remorse for doing it is not there, and it's only accounting for because the other gods, he takes that on them. He has better clarity and wisdom for doing it. But arguably Kratos, to an extent, is already too extremely old to be even acting like this. And he blatantly is a killing machine. And I get that's the point. But being a Spartan does not make you this. No matter Greek tragedy does not rationalize this. All of that is a play for how he was before he became a full fucking killing god. But that's still bad. So no matter what he's counted for now, that all takes into play. That makes him neutral. He's not an anti-hero. He doesn't fucking save nobody. He does not care about nobody but himself at that point. Case for now, no. He's not doing a bunch of different things. And their intent is not making him an anti-hero. What Cory Barlog and overall Santa Monica's entire play point is taking Kratos as a character and making them change. Redemption. Servitude. Push to be different. Because everybody can possibly change. Most likely, they're playing a view. But I know for a fact that's the case of view because my research and the fact I understand the character to a good snippet. Because I'm trying to learn more. I still want to try to look over all the games to see if it changed my point. But my point doesn't change about his callousness. Because his character literally takes away all kinds of compassion when it comes up to the guy. He's so mad, plantation of death. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care that I killed innocent women and killed blood. I don't care if it doesn't even affect me or them at the same time, because the fact that I'm killing people that deserve it to me, there will be no way to flinch. I will not flinch. If he feels like he's doing the right thing, that overall is discarded of goodness, and I'll do it again. Like I said, to reiterate what I just said to rescind my statement, I don't care if I killed a girl in the killing of cold blood. It doesn't matter. Or cold blood just like that, 'cause I'm pretty sure I possibly said kill in that case. I don't care about Toledo and delete all shit matter, a fragment of compassion. I'll just do it, you know what I'm saying? There's no qualm. At all. That's terrible. That's bad. It's not good. I know this has become a rant, but point still stands. And I don't like how people displace this. Again, like I said, I'm going to go about this story before I fully go down the branch of talking about why he's an anti-hero. Let me actually give you the definition of an anti-hero real quick. What anti-villain is. Anti-villain means, in quote, a person who fights against villainous people but is not in the place of being a hero or on point of being a person who is in the form of qualm of being heroic. Kratos, you could define at earlier points, because he saves people and has some decoration and understanding, and the power within the case of being an anti-villain. Because he hasn't done things excessively, right? He's not doing heroic things. But for his qualms and the purpose of what he does by this quote, that means someone who's fighting villains but is not necessarily heroic either. He has not done true heroic things, so there is no way to truly call him an anti-villain for the entirety or anti-hero. The main purpose point for why is because blatantly with his purpose and stuff in place for how he's doing things is that he's doing things in a reckless, ridiculous, excessive way. So yes, I understand if you want to place him in anti-villain, you're technically right. But in the reconnaissance of accounting him as being an anti-villain for the entire time, no, because he's not actually killing a bunch of villains with it. He is killing innocent people. He is not doing right. In some cases, not all the gods are bad, and he kills some innocent guys. Not super, but he kills gods who deserve it, right? But he's not in a place of being a villain fighter because he's not fighting pure villainous entire pavement. He is trying to get revenge. Revenge, as definition, is getting after somebody in a cold, petty, misandrous way. Not in a bad way. Not misandrous, misandrous. Because I don't know that's exactly the case of word. I'm pretty sure I haven't heard that. But even if you don't want to use that word, but in the place of being uncounting for a way for your own selfish desires. He's not fighting evil for other people. He's doing it in his own selfish desires. That's not bad because these niggas are ops. My point is, please listen, is that his purpose for doing it is not a rhyme of being, oh, I'm going to stop these people because they deserve it and doing other good things and learning to not just go with vengeance. He's not doing something that resonates with and a case for how case of matter for why Punisher did what he did at the start, which I'm gonna go into comparison with actual anti-heroes and talk about their place of morality, their ideals, that infuriates them matter what an anti-hero is, with the point being said, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you're not gonna understand that unless you don't take into play what the case of characters are gonna be like, what their characters as well. With that being said, but like I said, the other Rav Sector characters do different things in their format. Now I'm gonna go over what an anti-hero is, because I already said a specialty what an anti-villain is. So technically, again, to reiterate, if you want to place him as an anti-villain at technical case of start, yes, but he does it over a Ramsol case of revenge. So that argument is technically disformed by him doing that. So if you actually have a strong argument, you have to prove to me that his path in killing a villain does not hold just place on himself and not killing someone in a villain poor act. Anti-hero to go in, because again, in the killing craze, it matter for what Punisher did before he kept going in a place of matter of powdering off of death incarnate and being himself. An anti-hero is kind of like an anti-villain, but an anti-hero is not actually necessarily a villain in the entire state of matter, but is neutral and objectively bad to good by doing heroic acts. I repeat, heroic, and mostly found with characters who do heroic deeds in path to fight against evil if it suits them. Kratos, I'm gonna make this clear. Kratos, for all games, God of War 4 simply does not count. He's fighting objective evil when we don't know the entire cause and point for why the Norse gods do it. So that's mysterious to us. We don't have any point in play to understand why they're doing it. We can just account it as evil because Baldur was a freak and Magni and Modi were not the most coolest people. If we're talking Thor, and some bigger stuff happens with Thor that places Kratos in redemption, then if you place him as an anti-hero, that's fine. But we're not going to use headcanon and handwriting to oppose what's happening. You can't just say that because of one person being one point. We're not going to do that. The point is that with Kratos, for the entire games, has been callous, evil, inconsiderate, odious, psychopathic, prejudically evil, not like discriminately, but big pressed and prejudice against the gods for good reason, and decorrelating every ounce of care for everybody else. He does not do nothing heroic. There's nothing heroic about Kratos. Will you mention Kratos? I hope to, not even God, just the All-Fathers, the Norse gods, every state of mind for ounce, that you do not see him as a hero in this scenario, because no one should. When I think of hero, I do not think of a hero. I think of a man in the middle spot between his past and the present. Do not place him as a hero or conception of a hero. He could be a hero, but he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's not that at all. I'm just saying that when it comes down to the case for his character, he's not that. And it wasn't even a stop. I'm just saying in a place of like, you know, he could. But is he? No, he's not. Is he now? No, not necessarily. And that's not his point of his character. I'm just saying, do not plant character as that when it's not the place of his character. That's not who he is. Being an anti-hero would have Kratos actually saving people. He's not. He does things for selfish, reckless reasons and not in the purpose of being an actual hero. That's the problem. So Kratos, in conclusion, is not a hero because of his baseness of his point, his actions, and his overarching peril of destruction. Here's why more depthly. Bonus. Anti-heroes, an example. I'm going to give you 5. I'm going to start with Punisher, the number 1 example of anti-hero. Punisher did what he did out of vengeance, out of soil, fighting actual case of villains, but at the same time not necessarily anti-villain because of the point of his vengeance and ideals. He does what he does at a blatant purpose to fight for evil at the same time, not actually out of cuss with what he did, but that was at the point in time because he was fighting for evil in this sense, not as in his actual case of fighting as evil, because that might seem a little bit weird, because now I'm thinking about it in a different light. Because if I say fighting for good, yes, that's what he's doing. But if I say fighting for evil in this sense, yeah, he's not fighting necessarily in derogation for evil, but fighting for evil is not actually what he's doing with this. But what he's doing is technically that later on with the point, because Punisher did that because Mafia Shop is family. I'm not gonna go in full history with the character, because you can go to somebody else with that. Maybe I could if you ever guys want that. But Punisher does what he does because of his family at first, but his family left away the qualms that he had. Punisher found the military that he loves killing. It gives him worth, it gives him joy, and it makes him plead for death's calling, because when he's in the middle of a warfare, he feels the most peace. In the words of Wei Chang from For Honor, what he said to Apollyon, hospitality and equality goes in all bounds. So if warfare would be the best place of peace to be, then the battleground is the greatest joy you could possibly be. Punisher feels that shit. He likes killing people. When his family left, his point of fighting against evil and fighting for evil played into a sense, arguably, because here's why. He does heroic things by killing bad people, killing terrorists, killing villains, killing mafia people, killing criminals, thugs, rapists, pedophiles, all that shit. Drug dealers. Drug. It can sound weird how I said it. I'm not trying to go off point. I might even have to say, I don't know. Drug dealers, different people and thugs that are bad and objectively scummy people. But the thing is, the Punisher feels that they don't have no qualm and understanding to actually be let go. He'll kill them, and he has no qualm, and it won't feel bad. But the thing is, he does that, but he'll kill innocent people in the process if he feels like they deserve it, and there's no documentation of true judging needed. He'll do that because he's judge, jury, and executioner. There's no point in arguing with him, because he'll just kill you too. He'll pin any sight on any nigga because he just feels like it, because he is a bad and objective evil person if you take it to a high extent, because he makes a fucking panderized excuse to be a fucking hero. If you call him an anti-hero because he has heroic plan of action, but does that corner him into being a hero? No. Because Punisher does not have no focus to kill for good. His focus is to plan out death, because he literally has an entire skull of Memento Mori sign padded on his chest. He reconciles that. He has no humanity, arguably. He'll save some people, yes, but it's only because he feels like he likes killing. So if they're criminals, he has no reason to feel bad. If he feels like they're messing with him, he has no reason to feel bad. He's a hypocrite, because then he'll say that no one deserves a second chance and he'll kill them, but he works with Deadpool, he works with Venom, he works with Elektra, an assassin. Not every person that she killed was necessarily deserving. He works with Venom, and even though not every vote, case in form matter for Venom and how he was necessarily evil, but Venom as a symbiote and some of the hosts that he had, and Pacific Eddie Brock was acting like a psychopath, a killer, was trying to kill Spider-Man, innocent people, was depriving all his humanity to prey on a person that ruined his life, arguably, and placing himself at a higher bidder and being fucking demonic. He was literally a living fucking demon. Now, you're not even getting on the host, because you can say the host manipulated Eddie's place of thought. Say that if you want. You can make a video about that, talk about that. But I'm talking about a place of just not killing the host / case a matter of the symbiote if they would be out of line. Because since they're Venom, he would do that. Because he's having a nigga to take, oh, it's manipulating you, so you and Nick gotta die because you're a waste of sperm. Like that. He would just plant you in the ground. And not every Fort Point / Fort case form matter for why Venom did what he did goes into play like that, but he's a hypocrite like that. He dated Elektra for a few years, is over here fucking piping her and shit. You're literally fucking a killer. Then he works with someone like Deadpool. He was a full psychopath, a murderer, is a full hitman, one of the most deadly assassins in the Marvel universe, bro. a full-on psychopathic clown. Like, come on now. Like, that's hypocritical as a motherfucker. Like, that's dumb. That doesn't make sense. It's the same thing with Wolverine. I can go on and on, bro. But the main staple point is that he'll be hypocritical on his point, and he won't actually make anything happen. And he has a big paradox and contradiction on all his points. He has some points for, like, he actually does sincerely believe in a lot of places for why he does what he does, but it's out of excuse, point, and qualm that the pure fact for why he'll do it is literally because some people deserve to die, which he's right. And the people that Kratos kills, an example, deserve to die too. But it's like, is it really right to send him out for an excuse for doing it when he plays that into effect? There's already multiple moments where he goes and kills random people that hasn't done nothing to him, have nothing to do with his revenge, his wife and daughter, or his son, nothing with that. He'll do that same shit. There is no moral high ground. With Moon Knight, he'll go to excessive run. These people deserve to die, but because of his mental illness and his maddening craze, he'll go out his way and plan out an entire heist death run on everybody and has no qualms, and he takes people's faces and he does a bunch of dark things. At the same time, he has mental illness, so that's a different place of scenario, but at the same time, that's still bad. Next, again, all my other places of people were already counted with Punisher. The last main person I want to talk about, which is my biggest anti-hero opinion that comes into play in comparison to Kratos at the biggest magnitude, is the case of this all anti-heroes generally that work with other people but do it out of necessity for other things. Not every anti-hero is like this. There's different anti-hero arguments for the case of like some like Goku, other anime characters, Asura, if you even want to call him like that, other characters and their intentions, Hulk, you can go on and on. I'm just saying, like, there's a bunch of characters that you can arguably play a different form than these anti-heroes, but these anti-heroes are the biggest staple and point that I have with it. And not everybody's qualms and ideals are gonna be like Superman or Batman's, but that's not the point. The point is that other heroes slash anti-heroes or anti-villains have qualms that hold a place in heroics. Moon Knight will save somebody and he tries to be better every day, and even though his mental illness takes away a part his entire place and understanding for why he'll do something, makes him be a little bit off form for why and how he'll do stuff, because of the fact obviously he's a sick person, he's mentally ill, but it's not displaced his qualms arguably, because you could pay half of it on his mental illness, his curse, or the pure factor that he has problems and he knows he does, and sometimes he likes to do them, because Moon Knight is not a rational, insane person. He's excessive and can actually be a menace to society. Kratos is a menace. Kratos, doing that stuff in the past, was not good. He's not good because of the pure factor of how he does it is excessive and unformable. It is out of pocket. It is unrational and out of play of being, oh, because of the fact that this person's doing this, I can go ahead and pray and put that same place of effect on other people. That's bad. I'm done. My rant's been cleared. In conclusion, obviously, Kratos is not good because of his callous needs and forward place and point for him doing stuff, forking around a bunch of qualms against the gods, and then correlating over here, wrathful and perishing to mortals, not caring, being excessive, being callous, and being an entire murderer psychopath. There is no case of anti-hero-ness to Kratos, and I think people mix the definition of an anti-hero and anti-villain to play him as that because they think because he's trying to change and he fights villainous people, that means he's bad. One right does not make another right sometimes in this case, which kind of sounds like a contradiction, but it is true. Not to go on a tangent, what I mean more in focus with this point is the pure fact, and that was big brain of me, was pure fact case that just because one right and two other rights does not make a right out of a negative in this case is what I mean with this, because one right and one negative do not make another thing, and one right and another right still play a negative, because even though he's in the right, the same matter of wanting to be mad, and they're in the right case of wanting to be dead by Kratos in this sense, not them actually dying in this case, because in the form how they're saying it's a little bit different, which I've been talking a lot, but it's not in my brain spliced together, because I'm glad I'm able to talk because I can pronunciate, articulate profoundly what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, all around, is that he, as a character, makes a right to want to kill them, right? His vengeance is an equal problem to go and kill them. But two rights does not make a right in this scenario for him being right. I can take both rights, that a dad wants to kill a person that's a pedophile, but he's not just right because people that are not pedophiles, but he thinks are pedophiles, and at the same time him not being in the right of being the law makes him right there, because arguably he is killing innocents and at the same time not giving people a chance to actually be convicted, arguably. Do I necessarily think that? No, but there's necessary concern that can be put into play for that being a point with what is in the play there. But at the same time, a bunch of negatives do not place him in the right either. That's my entire point. Like I said, in conclusion, I'm done. I've been talking for so long. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys have gotten to understand from my point. If you made it all the way here, I appreciate it. It is like a mid-hour long video, I feel like. I hope you guys will enjoy. Even though we're 45 minutes and 50 seconds. Peace out, mommy. Love y'all.